Hi everyone. This is Mr. Fong again. For this is lesson 5, lesson 6, depending whether you are primary or the secondary. Okay. For this lesson onwards, I think you already experienced. You already done many projects, designs, and it is time for you to learn something different. Okay. From this lesson onwards, I think you can start. We are going to do something called a diorama. um, you need to design. I need to give you some requirements. You need to think what you want to put inside. Okay. What am I going to give you? Okay. I'm going to give you. Okay. So I will tell you what are the equipments, what are the things you have, and then I'm going to teach you how to download something from the internet. If it's too big, I know that you may have this experience before. You cannot import into your Tinkercad, and uh, other than that is I think I already mentioned before, some of you are very creative, trying to download something. Before I teach you how to download, you already know that you can actually download something from the internet. But when you want to print it out, you notice that it actually cannot, or if you print out, it will be a piece of plastic, a single piece of plastic with a lot of support. And then if you remove all the support, some of the objects cannot be removed. Then I mean, for example, if you consider a car, if you print a car directly, there will be a lot of support inside the center of the object, and it is very difficult to remove that. Okay, in the center, just like if you're creating a boat, right? Like the previous project, we create a boat. Also, I have to print out without using any support. So, for example, in here, okay, this is a famous object called Banshee. If you look at it, the center, if they are full of support in the center, is very difficult to remove. So to print this object, we have to print without the support. So without the support, you have to configure your printer properly. And of course, if you submit a car, if you want to have a car, um, you know that the roof is very wide, very long, and without support, it's quite impossible to print it out because when these are the floating object, and there's nothing supporting it, the plastic will move down. Okay, so it's not straight, and then the roof of your car will not be perfect. Even if it's okay from the top, but if you look at it from the inside, it will look terrible. Okay, so how are we going to fix all those things? Is we are going to break object into parts, and then we're going to print it out one by one. Okay, so for example, this one, if you look at this, if you print the whole object out in one print, you will notice that there will be a lot of support to support this the wooden part area here. A lot of support here, and it will not be beautiful. Okay, because the solution is to break it down into smaller different parts like this on the right hand side. Break it down into different parts, then you can print it out and assemble it back together. Okay, this solved a lot of questions. I think a few students actually came to me asking me how to print out a big object, how to print a big car. Okay, this is one of the way, but not all the designs can be broken down into parts. It depends on the original designer. Okay, if the original designer actually do a scan, then very likely that is a 3D scan. It may not have different parts. So if they're created with a CAD, computer aided design software, then it's very likely that they can be separated. Okay, only those can be separated one can be printed out perfectly. Okay, what am I going to give you in the next few lessons? You may spend 3 to 4 lessons to complete a big project. Okay, so today you are going to learn the software, a new software. You will be given something like this. Okay, this is a flexible LED. Okay, flexible LED. You know LED got light, light. Okay, so LED have light. I'm good. You can bend this LED. Then you connect it, and with different devices. I'll give you this battery. Okay, this is a 3 watt because the LED is a 3 watt LED. You have switches. You need to design to locate all these parts in your design. Switch on off switch. Uh, then you have wires. Okay, you need to design the path. Then you have these kind of things called the string tube, string tube with solder inside. Okay, so it's a low temperature solder. Uh, when you heat it up with a heat gun, then the solder will melt. Okay, then they will combine the two cables together. Yeah, these are the few things that I'll be giving you. And what are you building is, let's have a look. Okay, I don't know whether you can see or not. We're not. I will show you during the lesson. You are not going to build something as big as this one. You only build something maybe at the size of one room. Okay, this entire house. To build this one, even though most of the items are free, I purchase, but to build this thing, if you spend a few hours every weekend, it will take about half a year. So we are not going to build something so big. It has light also. We are going to build something smaller. So at the size of 15 cm cube, um, two walls with floor. Or you can think about something with floor. Whether you have wall or not is up to you. But like cabling, and then the place that to put the switches and battery. Okay. So what do you need to know now? Okay. Let me give you some idea. You have a new software. Okay, we have a new software called Meshmixer. This is a software called Meshmixer. If you go and search Meshmixer, just type Meshmixer download, MESH Meshmixer. You will find the original developer of Meshmixer is Autodesk, but they already stopped providing support to this software. From what I know, they already stopped. Then doesn't matter. We just want to use some of these features, and if you check this one, uh, whether Meshmixer is free for use for education use, yes, it's completely free for education use, free for everyone to use. Whether student education can access it without any extra cost. You can just download it. So if you search Meshmixer download, you can see there are many places you can download, but I recommend you to go back to the Autodesk because they are the original developer. All these are some software sites that actually they can modify the software, probably add some of the adware inside that we don't know. Okay, I would just recommend you to go back to the original Autodesk website here to download. So this is how after you click the Autodesk, you can just download whether you're using Windows or you're using. I think there is if you want to use a Mac, then you look for a Meshmixer Mac download. Then you'll be able to download the Mac version of it. Okay, after you download it, this is how it looks like. After you open it, very simple to use, very simple interface, but very good software to use. So we are going to go to Thingiverse. I think Thingiverse you already know what is it. Okay, Thingiverse.com. Okay, in this Thingiverse.com, try to look for something called SwingCat. We are going to use SwingCat as a example. SwingCat. Okay, this in this example, okay, look at this one. This is the example I'm going to use. And if you go to remix in here, you will see I have also uploaded one version. And this is also something that I have printed out. Okay, you can see. Um, you look at how if I ask you a question after you have learned for you have done this 3D modeling for more than 15 lesson, around 15 lesson, you should know that when you set this to print, you cannot get such a perfect print. You will notice that they have a lot of okay. Although you can see because this one is using an older printer before. I would say that before we properly configure lah. Okay. So this one is not so perfect. If we print it now with our new 0.25 print head, it will be very beautiful. Okay, very beautiful. Obviously, is we haven't optimized the printing. So in this case, you can't really print everything out in one time. So what you need to do is you have to break the bird out, the leaves out, this wooden parts, all these part you can see from here. We have to break it down so that we have to print all these part separately. Okay, we have to print this part separately. Then we combine them together, uh, glue them together. Okay, for example, here this area you have to glue them together lah, because the original designer didn't really put in a area for us to slot the leaves in. Okay, this is if you look at files, they have already I have already separated because the original designer. Let's have a look at the original designer. The original designer actually gave something like this in one piece. So very difficult, difficult, which is quite impossible to print. So actually, what I did is I changed the cat. I changed the cat to one bird, to one bird. So it's slightly different because I like this bird very much, very cute, and it's print out using our 3D color printer, Bamboo Lab P1S. Well, how to do this? Okay, question how to do this. First, you need to download your file. For example, click here. Okay, downloaded. Then you have to unzip the file. Okay, I think I will go for files. There's only one file. I'll just copy out and then Control V. Okay, this is the STL file. Okay, now what you need to do is we go to this Meshmixer. Okay, you go to File, Open File, and you look for the newly downloaded file. Is it here? Let me check. Okay, sorry. Import. Okay, so you can see this is how the files look like. Okay, you can't print it out in one shot. So what you need to do is, I think, let's look at edit. Edit, you can choose separate. Once you click separate cell, do you notice that you click here, this is the bottom, you click here, this is this part, click here, this is this part. You can combine more than one part. So for example, this part plus this part, holding down the control key, then that means these two parts will be combined when you export. Okay, go to file, you can export, just export in STL. Okay, STL, give it a name. Maybe this is called the maybe part one or something. Give a proper name. Part one, save it. So they will export this portion out. Then you check this one also need to export separately. The leaf section. So you see all this part can be separated. Okay, then you have to export one by one. You can imagine so complicated. Uh, in order to print out nicely. Okay, it's not easy. So those parts that you think can combine together, you combine together and print. So for example, this bird, you have to combine all the parts that belongs to the bird and export in one object. Okay, so other than this one, let's say okay, let's go to select and let's select this. Okay. Let me oops. Okay, that doesn't matter. We open the Meshmixer one more time. Okay, import. Let me see here. Okay, so if I come to select this time, Oh, no choice. Okay, I have to select in such a way. You need to touch the object. So if you want to select certain object, okay, you have to select. Okay, just do like this, easier. Okay, let's select the whole thing. Don't care. Just select the whole thing. So when you're selecting, you see the red dot. The red dot must color it. You must color it with the red color dot, so you can select. Okay, let's say we select the whole thing. Okay, take your time, select everything. What am I going to show you is what if this object is too big? What I mean is, this object is too big. Okay, make a mistake already. Eh, you're supposed to have a select. Okay, select all button. Okay, there's a select all. After you select all, you go to edit. There is one function called reduce. Okay, you reduce. Yes, didn't use this software for a long time. Instead of percentage, you can say max deviation. Okay, max deviation. One of the reason I like to go to here is because it depends on your. Uh, this is the how many you want to print. So you can set to 0. Of course, 0.01 is the lowest if you use resin printer. For us, I think 0.2 will be enough. 0.18, 0.2 will be good enough. Okay, you can type in also. Percentage, they will reduce by 50%. Okay, so what I do now is I click accept. Then let's see will help or not. Export. Export. I think, oh, sorry, wrong page. Okay. Okay, because we are too greedy, I think you can, because of this 0.2. Okay, if you do not put to 0.2, you put higher, and then the percentage you can put, this is try count. Okay, you can put lower, and the size will become lower. Okay, this one you can play around. This is how you can reduce the size of the object. Okay, by controlling here. Of course, it depends on the quality you want. It depends on quality. You can create parts by parts. As I mentioned, you can actually export this part one by one. After that, when you redo it, you can set to higher quality if you want to. If not, you can just make it smaller, and then the max deviation you set to higher. Maybe you set to somewhere in 0.5, 0.5 something. Definitely the size will be low. Okay, let's try a little bit. Let's try a bit. Can I reduce this one? Okay. So if you look at now, uh, this is the original size. Original size is 6,000 KB, less than 6 MB. This is only about one tenth of it. So one tenth of it only. So you can see after we, if you increase the this setting, the quality. So you go to edit, reduce, change this to max deviation, and here will help you to control the size. Okay, the bigger it is, uh, of course the quality is worse. Okay, so do not set until that high. Okay, so this really depends on how good you want the quality to be. Reduce the quality, you will get a smaller size. Definitely 110 is really too much. Okay, you don't have any details there, so do not reduce until that much. So you can control, but do not control until too high. Okay, you lost all the details. So again, you use the file export to export whatever parts that you want. This is provided the object you download is working. So in the during the lesson, we will look at, you will have to go to the um, this thing givers, try to explore what you want to develop. Okay, target, the objects, the topic is diorama. That means you can create something like a car park, okay, car parking area. You can create a room, um, maybe for some of the storeroom with some cargo inside. You can just create three or four items. Three or four items will do. So, for example, with a table, with a sitting table, with this is what we call a few drums of those alcohol drums. Okay, put in the center. Then you can create some neon lights just at the back uh, of your design. And what else? You think about it. So we can discuss about this during the lesson. I want you to think. Don't want to give you too many ideas. You can create the gardens. You can create the house. You can create rooms. Up to you. Okay. Please consider. You need to put in the lights where you want to put the lights. Okay. You have to consider the cabling. You have to consider where to put the switches. These are the challenges I want to give to you. And then you can measure the size of all these items during your lesson. Okay. Then we will spend a few lessons in the next three lessons. I think about three lessons, maximum four. We will complete everything, including your assembly of the electronic parts. Okay. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.